Hey gamers, I'm Eric, RickityBeans Rubino, and welcome to our GAU Indie exclusive interview brought to you by GamersRUs.com. Today I am here with James Primate. James is here to talk to us about his new project called Rain World. Well, people clearly want games like that. I mean, your game was on Kickstarter and Steam Greenlight. Both got unanimously approved. Kickstarter, it more than doubled what you were asking for. You got over $60,000, and you were only asking for $25,000. How did that affect the game?
Oh, that's a great question. It was pretty crazy. The Steam Greenlight was ridiculous. It happened in 5 days, which is just nuts. So we didn't expect anything like that. The Greenlight stuff has been, or not the Greenlight, the Kickstarter stuff has been really interesting because we get a lot of you get a lot of feedback from backers, and you have people that are like really excited about the game. But of course they project themselves into the game, and they're like, oh, this is great. We want to see XYZ from it. So it was pretty crazy when we first started out. This was the first time we've done anything like this. It's just the two of us, and you have literally like my email box has like 5,000 emails in it from backers like asking me questions like, oh, can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah,
like
right.
You should add this. You should add that. And it's so easy. It's like super easy to just want to be like, yes, we're gonna do all of these things for you guys. You're throwing money at us. Like, how can we say no? But we kind of had to step back. Like, we reached our goal in 3 days on
Oh wow,
on Kickstarter.
that's very impressive.
Yeah, it was too impressive. It was too scary for us. Like, so we had to really like go back and be like, all right, what does the game actually need? Like, we could say that we're going to offer, like, oh, we're going to put it on every system known to man. We're going to like port it to TI-86 graphing calculator or whatever. But like, does it really need that? Like, how best is what's going to work best for Rain World? So that's that was like something that we really like thought a lot about during the Kickstarter, was to offer things that people would like, but also wouldn't kind of compromise the game vision that we had initially. So it's changed kind of in the regard of that initially, as I was talking about before, the game was built in this really old programming language called Lingo, which Jor has used for a long time because it's easy to sort of sketch stuff up and get things going. But now we have there's obvious interest in the game. There's a ton of backers that want to see it like actually look good and not have like bugs and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So we're working to port it into more modern programming languages so we can bring it to new platforms, and it won't just be like some little niche game somewhere, whatever.
Any platforms specifically you want to bring it to?
I would love to tell you all about that.
Yeah.
So we're talking with publishers right now. So kind of we want to bring it to everywhere, but I don't want to say specifically what.
Okay, that's fair. Now I noticed on your Kickstarter, you guys divided up your budget on what you're going to spend things on. How come you're not spending any money on jet skis?
Man, jet skis. You know, initially, again, when we first started talking about all this, we had no idea anything was going to go anywhere. So we sort of joked a lot around about like, all right, so when we do this Kickstarter, we're going to get $1 million, and we're going to buy like gold chains, and we're going to buy jet skis. So obviously we had to take it a bit more seriously than that when it's other people's money. So we kind of wanted to, I don't know, work in some of our inside jokes to it.
Yeah.
People like that though.
Yeah, definitely. It gives a good humor to the game, shows where you guys come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you keep bringing up your partner when making this game. You made this game with only one other person.
Yeah.
Now, what's it like to only work with one other person?
It's kind of awesome. I mean, we're coming from a sort of a background of just doing everything ourselves. Like Jor, he's really an amazing programmer. He's also an amazing artist, and he also has really great game ideas. And for me, I'm doing the music, the sound design, and helping out with other development stuff, like putting together narrative and things like that. And we work super well together. Like, it's funny to say this. I've never met him in person. We've been working for 3 years just over like email and stuff like that. But it's like if we were to print out all of our like emails, we would have like novels, like 5,000 pages thick. So it's been really cool because it allows us to be really like we can do what we want. We don't have to. There isn't some like huge crazy process. Like from our perspective, we can't even really see how you have teams that are for indie games like 30 people. It seems ridiculous.
Like it would be convoluted.
It would be convoluted. Like what winds up happening, and this is not a slant to anybody else's workflow, obviously, but we just like being able to talk about something and then make it happen immediately after that. Like during the Kickstarter, it was really cool because people would be like, okay, so what are you gonna do here? And we'd be like, all right, we'll just do it. So like I'd be like, Jor, it'd be cool if we could have like these new characters in a level like this. And he'd be okay. And then an hour later, we'd get like the game build back with this content in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you could really work that fast with like a big team. I mean, obviously, as we go forward, we're gonna have to get like quality assurance people on it and people there to like break the game and figure out how we did this terribly and like work to fix it. But for actually like creating content, I think is if you have a good partner and you are on the same wavelength, it winds up working out pretty well.
Good to hear. I'm wondering how, if two people are playing, how are you going to balance the difficulty? How do you know if that's too hard? Is that part of QA testing?
That's going to be part of the QA stuff. And we kind of like the game is hard. It's really hard, and we like it that way too. But you're right. It's going to be there's going to be like we're going to have to ramp it a certain way so that people aren't just like throw their controller out the window as soon as they get it. But I don't know. I mean, as we were talking before the interview, like people really sort of like the hard games at this point. Like I think people are kind of fed up with being served these softballs. Like you spend a bunch of money on a game you're all excited about, and then you play through it in like 4 hours or something like that. I mean, when I was growing up, back in my day, like you'd get a game and you'd play it for like a year or like 6 months of like working on it and like mastering certain levels, and that's kind of the things that we're sort of going through in this. But yeah, again, making it so like people are willing to do that, to like commit to sort of developing the skills that they would need to actually like beat the game and not just like hate us.
Yeah,
is going to be a trick.
Now, it can be played single player, but there will be some multiplayer, some co-op. How's that going to work?
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Kind of initially, like the absolute basis for the game when Jor first started putting it together was so he and his cousin could like kill each other in a game. So co-op's always been in there. Deathmatch, like right now it's set up so you can play it. There's like a single player campaign. You can play the single player campaign with two players, cooperative. There's also up to four player deathmatch, and kind of a sandbox sort of thing where you can sort of select any level you want to. You can add whatever enemies you want to. There's all these different game modes like hunt, like you can hunt for like lizard eggs, or you can just kill as many lizards as possible. There's like waves mode where they're just like gonna throw different combinations of baddies at you and stuff like that. So that's where it's at now. From there, kind of we'd always talked about sort of moving into what we're gonna do with it next will be like if you could have, say, internet multiplayer or something like that. I don't know if we're gonna be able to tackle that right away because that's a lot of like network code and stuff like that we're just like not set up for right now. But yeah, multiplayer, we want to make it a big element.
Sounds really cool that multiplayer can be in a game like that. It gives it a lot more replayability on top of an already very replayable game. Now, to finish it off, why don't you tell everybody when this game is going to come out and what systems you can find it on?
Sure. So right now, what we're building for right now is PC, Mac, and Linux. Of course, beyond that, there are other things. I can't announce them yet. It looks like that's going to be, we're aiming for a target of December or late fall. We're probably going to have like earlier beta versions out before that to some of our like early backer, our early tier backers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The people who backed it looking for early access to the game. So yeah, December 2014, that's where we are right now. Yeah, December 2014. But this is the first month getting into it, so who knows?
Okay.
We'll see you in 2018 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it sounds really exciting. I'm really excited about it. Thank you very much for joining us,
Thanks
James.
for having me. A pleasure.
Excellent. Now, I want everybody to make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on GamersRUs.com because I cannot wait to play Rain World. So make sure you stay with GamersRUs for more and more information on this game before it comes out. Sure you'll keep us in check?
Oh, yeah.
All
You
right.
want to do a bump?
Yeah.
Bump.
All right. I'm Eric RickityBeans Rubino. Game on. Thank you
Cool.
very
Thanks,
much.
man.
That was
a
awesome.
pleasure.